You planning on opening up anytime soon? Or do you intend to strand me out here? I thought your jaw would be a bit lower when you opened that door. Though, I must admit, your current expression is equally satisfying. You gave me your address the night of the banquet, remember? I sent someone from my pack to pick you up since I was running late. Look, hun, if you want me to leave, I can. It's no big deal. Oh? Well, if that's the case, are you gonna let me in now? Or will this interrogation continue on your doorstep? Not sure what I expected your place to look like exactly, but it definitely feels like your kind of space. I like that. Oh, come on now, hun. If you're gonna start asking me questions, the least you could do is buy me dinner first. What? Maybe I happened to be in the area and decided to swing by and visit one of my favorite people. Is that so hard to believe? I can't say I'm surprised by your response. Though, for the record, I meant it when I said you're one of my favorite people. And that's in spite of the barrage of glares and scowls you send my way. How about you give me a please first, and then I'll consider giving you a proper answer. See? That wasn't hard at all. Now, to better answer your question. I was in the area because I just got back to the city. It's not often that our work takes us outside of Notarum, but it does happen from time to time. In this case, the pack was asked to work as security for an event. It was a derivative-centered convention, featuring discussion panels, magical demonstrations, and so on. Our job was to facilitate things running smoothly, keep an eye out for disruptions or unruly attendees, and, more importantly, assure that no one stagnant could waltz in somehow. Including myself, there were about 10 pack members working the event. We spent the days leading up to it getting a feel for the overall layout of the convention, memorizing schedules, putting names to faces, etc. All that's pretty standard for us given how many people we interact with. In its entirety, the job spanned over a week. I've only been back in Notarum for about an hour now, but when I realized your place was close by, I knew I couldn't waste an opportunity to come see you. So, is that a more satisfactory answer, hun? I will admit, though, there was another reason why I wanted to come by and see you. When work takes me out of town, I make an effort to call the den at least once a day to check in on my pack. I didn't anticipate anything particularly noteworthy taking place while I was away, which is why it was such a surprise when Declan told me that someone had come by the den looking for me. Someone whose physical description actually fit you to a T. I found this interesting to hear, especially since you already have my number and could have reached me that way if you really wanted. So, care to explain why you came by instead? You thought you left a jacket there. That's the story you're going with. I just find it hard to believe, seeing as I don't recall finding a jacket around the den. Ah, of course. It must not have been there. How convenient. I'm not implying anything, hun. I asked for an explanation, and you provided one. That's all there is to it. Well, I'll get out of your hair now. Yeah, why wouldn't I be leaving? I already told you why I wanted to swing by, and you've already answered my questions. As far as I'm concerned, I don't see any reason why I would stay. You want me to stay? Are you sure about that, hun? I'm sure you've got your own matters to attend to tonight, ones that don't need me interrupting them. Fair enough. Well then, was there anything specific you wanted from me since you've convinced me to stay? How about you tell me what you've been up to today? I'm sure we'll come up with something along the way, unless you have a better idea. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm assuming you had a long day at work. I figured as much. If anything, it sounds like you're in dire need of some stress relief. Wait, what were you about to say? Are you sure it was nothing? Or are you embarrassed because I caught you? Oh, you're not? Then, please, by all means, tell me what you were gonna say. Speak up for me. I think I might need you to be a bit more specific, hon. After all, there's so many ways one can relieve stress. I'm not sure I do know what you mean. For example, you could be asking for a shoulder rub, my hands working away at that tension until you relax in my grasp. Maybe you're looking for something a bit more thorough, like a full body massage with you settled beneath me. Or perhaps all you want is for me to make you a warm cup of tea and put on some quiet music. With so many possibilities, I'm afraid I won't know what you want unless you tell me. It'd be such a shame if we wasted the night away because you couldn't. You still haven't told me what you want. Now, was that so hard to tell me? Oh, what's the rush, hon? After all, we've got a whole night ahead of us, and I, for one, intend to spend it ravaging your body until you're squirming beneath me. So are you gonna keep mouthing off, or are you gonna put that mouth to good use? So glad to hear that. Hey, could you hand me my phone? I should take this. One sec. Do my ears deceive me, or am I speaking with the Coulson Pack Alpha at the moment? What's up, Carter? You don't usually call me this early unless you want something. Sure it isn't. Regardless, I'm sure you called for a reason. What is it? Yeah, I planned on coming by the den around, noon-ish. Did you want to go over those reports from last week? Alright, that sounds good. Was there anything else? Spit it out already. I knew you called because you wanted something, you fucking liar. Look, if I'm bringing you lunch, I'm at least picking where it's from. That's my offer, take it or leave it. So glad we could come to an agreement. I'll let you know once I'm on my way to the den. I still need to go by my own place now that I'm back, so it'll be a while. I took a bit of a detour when I got back, decided to visit someone, and ended up spending the night. I'll tell you about it later. Let me know if anything comes up in the meantime. I'll check in with you in a few. Bye, Carter. Good morning, hon. Sorry about waking you up. Well, that depends. Do you want me to lay back down? All you have to do is ask then. Any particular reason why you wanted me to lay down? Oh, you wanted me closer. Mm, mm. Is this close enough for you? Hey, do you need me to go? I'm just asking because I doubt you planned for me to spend the night when you invited me in. If you've got things to do, I can head out. It's not a big deal. Are you sure? Alright, I'll stay then. If anything, this'll give me a chance to lay here and do nothing for a while, which I'm certainly not complaining about. Are you having fun tracing my tat, son? I mean, it's not like it bothers me or anything. You can keep going if you want. Hmm? Is something wrong? You can touch my scars. I don't mind. Have I ever told you how I got these? It happened years ago, on a job. We received calls about a vampire in need, so a few pack members, including myself, went out to find them. We assumed the vampire in question was either hurt or needed to feed. Nothing major. We brought a few blood bags along and drove out to the area where the sightings came from. At first, there weren't any signs of a vampire, so we decided to split up, trying to cover more ground. I thought maybe we had gotten the location wrong because we still couldn't find anything after about 20 minutes of searching. As we were getting ready to leave, we heard a tree rustle. Seconds later, a figure emerged, the vampire we were looking for. Under normal circumstances, this would have been the best case scenario. However, those calls left out an important detail. This vampire was blank. I'd heard about blinking before, but seeing it up close was an entirely different matter. She was big, and she moved faster than I was used to. I yelled for someone to get one of the blood bags out of the car before shifting and running towards her. All I needed to do was keep her busy long enough for someone to get blood to her, and it seemed to be working for about 30 seconds. She kicked me hard in the stomach, enough where I shifted back once I hit the ground. As I was trying to get back up, she attacked me again. She clawed at me, the gashes starting somewhere on my back and curving around my right side. I remember looking up at her, eyes glossy and black, waiting for her to do worse when someone from the pack tackled her. Before she could get up, a few others helped wrestle her to the ground, pinning her in place until they could get blood to her mouth. I don't remember much else about that night after that point. Well, besides bleeding out all over the backseat of my car. I mean, the scars were a small price to pay if it meant no one else got hurt that night. How else do you expect me to talk about it? I'm not ashamed of my scars or how I got them. With the work my pack does, I'm not fazed by much anymore. No, not every job is that risky. Most of them are actually fairly tame, all things considered. But taking care of a community isn't always easy or pretty. What matters is that people feel like they can depend on us to help. Plus, it gives me plenty of stories to share at parties. Oh, hon, that was just one of many stories. I'll have to tell you about them sometime. For now, though, I feel like I'm ready to get out of bed. You hungry? Do you mind if I raid your kitchen? I can make us both something to eat so you can focus on getting ready for work. What time do you need to be there? Perfect. I could drop you off on my way back home. I know, I don't have to. That doesn't change my offer, hun. Of course. Anything for one of my favorite people, right? Alright. When I come back, it'll be with breakfast in hand for you. Try to take it easy while I'm gone, okay?